top of the Guinness Book of World Records, fastest talking female in the world. I also hold 9 world records. I did a book signing on top of Kilimanjaro, down by the wreckside of the Titanic. I've written 22 books. I'm a comic. I do a lot of things. But the thing that I'm really excited about now is that I am joining the Tour of Love. Ooh. And I am going to be joining it with a lot of talented people, and it's for a really good cause. So I am going to take actually an RV. I am just trying to find on the map what route I need to get to take this Tour of Love. There's got to be hearts or something on this. Anyway, I'll figure it out. In the meantime, why don't you find out what it is and join us?
The Tour of Love welcomes Melissa Manchester. This double Grammy winner joins a long list of talent on E360 TV. For 36 hours straight, they're all coming together to support those experiencing the impact of cancer and to lift the spirit of humanity with love at a time we need it the most.
The eyes of love. We are now starting hour number 28, and you thought hour 27 was great? Yes, it was. Hour 28 is going to be equally as amazing. It's just getting better and better and better as we go. So here we go.
This is a Tour of Love, an international event, 36 hours streaming live on the E360 TV platform, beaming the vibe of love around the world to audiences of all ages, all nations, with the intention of changing the way cancer is done. This is the CB4L Buddies Network, and we are healing through connections. So get on the bus, get ready, and let's welcome the Tour of Love.
Hello, hello, hello. We have Cecil Ramirez in the house, and I know many of my buddies know exactly who you are because many of them love your show. In fact, I've seen many of them with their names as top fan, top fan, top fan. And, you know, and it doesn't surprise me at all because your talent is incredible. I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh,
welcome.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Love to be on the Tour of Love with you guys. Hope you're holding up okay, Tamara.
Well, thank you for asking. Actually, I'm doing pretty good. I just had Will Donato in the last hour, and I mean, who doesn't just love his energy, right? And
he's awesome.
He is. And then, you know, you get the Cohen family, you know, commenting and texting and messengering you to help out. And it's like, okay, yes, the gang's all here. We're doing good, you know, and we're having some fun too. And awesome. And you come from, and I have found such an appreciation for the smooth jazz genre. However, you were playing some other songs the other night, and so I'm curious. Because, you know, I have to say, I don't know you as well as some of the others, and I want to because I am already, my name will someday be one of those top fans. I know. Whatever you have to do to qualify, I will be. And because, you know, I was like, and when you were saying, it was so funny, you said, okay, now sing along songs. And I'm like, okay, we don't have any of those cameras around here, right? And so then it was like, okay, I think I'm safe because I'm tone deaf. And so you gave the invitation. I was singing at the top of my lungs when you were doing some of those songs. That felt good.
That's great. And that's why we do it, you know, well, the message of the Tour of Love is, you know, you want to spread love and you want to be uplifting to other people. You know, you want to give them an energy or, you know, an encouragement because, you know, these are very interesting times, you know, without having, you know, cancer to deal with. We also have COVID, and it's really tough to connect with people. And I think that's been one of the big things, like what we're doing now, you know, trying to reach out and connect with people. That's what Will does with his show, and that's what I do with mine. And so it's fun. Yeah. And the sing alongs are a way to generate some of that positive energy. You know, I try to do songs that everyone's going to know because that's
Oh, yeah.
what makes it fun, you know. And while my primary genre is smooth jazz, I've played a lot of other different tunes, a lot of R&B things, you know, a lot of Motown, and so it's fun to kind of put those in there and get some positive vibes, having people sing along. It's a real blessing, you know.
Oh, yeah. And okay, so I have to ask you though.
Okay.
I was like, he's got something in front of the keyboard and he keeps pushing it for your cameras. And I'm like, oh, I love that. You got it down. You are good. So what do you got going on there?
Well, it's basically it's a piece of hardware called a Stream Deck, and
Yeah.
I first learned about the Stream Deck from watching a lot of gamers on Twitch, you know, and it's funny because in trying to make our shows better, a lot of the software and a lot of the hardware that we use was first used by gamers. And so they're used to, right? You know, they're used to having multiple computers to stream, and they're used to streaming at very high quality and high rates because that's how they make their living. So, so the Stream Deck is one of those pieces of hardware that they use, and it allows you to connect your different cameras and to have different scenes while, you know, because you're doing everything by yourself. And I think that, you know how it is, right? When you're doing, like we're using StreamYard right now, I use a piece of software called Open Broadcast Studio, or OBS. And, you just kind of learn how to make your show more visually interesting. As opposed to having static cameras. So yeah, we'll put scenes in there and slides and sing-along announcements and, all kinds of fun stuff just to keep it interesting.
And you're using StreamYard, you said?
Well, we're using StreamYard now. I use OBS
with the deck.
Yeah. In fact, I'm using OBS right now to stream to you. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yes, I know, guys. I'm being a little geeky here.
Yeah.
I love this stuff. And I was like, okay, I have to ask because it's so fun. And then you have such a great way of engaging your audience, because when you go off to the one, you're like, yeah, we're doing this. We're having fun. And then you do this, and then you're like, we're having fun, right? And I love it. Oh, yes. Look at you. This
Whoa.
is such fun. I'm loving this. Yes.
Yeah, that's what the show looks like.
Well, and I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for what you're doing. And also, I want to thank you for being here. And I know that, we have I want to be respectful of your time. And I'm going to take this down for a moment. And I'm going to talk to you for a few more minutes because of the fact that you wrote a song, and the Tour of Love and what it is that we're doing for Chemo Buddies for Life, which we call it cb4l.org. It's a nonprofit supporting those people affected by cancer. Doesn't matter what type of treatment. It just so happens I met my original buddy in a chemotherapy room, and that I'm one of the two original buddies. And so thus the name, and, but we support all treatment plans and whatever anybody decides, because we're not raising funds for the treatment. We're raising funds for the community, for the people, the front line, to take care of the patient, and then those people that love and support them. And you wrote a song.
Mm-hmm.
You wrote a song.
I wrote a song for my brother.
Your brother.
Who passed away from colorectal cancer in 2014. And so that was, obviously people that are watching have been unfortunately touched by cancer in one way or another. And I think we all are. We either know somebody who has it, or we know someone who's been through it. In my case, thankfully I didn't get it, but my brother did. And so that runs in our family. And so, my other brother and I, we go get tested regularly, and, we keep up with our medical checkups. And But for Mike, it was a little bit too late, for him. They didn't catch him till he was already stage 4. So, so we had him for 18 months, and just being around him, he was a pretty stoic kind of guy, and so being around him and watching him struggle and fight, and just talking to him about what he was going through, how he was feeling, whether he was in pain that particular day or not, or what it felt like after his radiation and his chemo. It was just mind-boggling. You guys know, the fight that you go through, and there's a little bit of helplessness involved. I mean, it's not like I can't just touch him and make it go away, and so the best thing I could do is be there for him, and my wife and I were there for him, and we were with him when he passed. So but before he did, I wrote a song for him called Missing You, and it was a way for me to always have him with me, because it's when I first played the song, I played it at it was a cancer benefit locally here in Sacramento, called Sax on the River, and it was for breast cancer awareness. Yeah,
I've heard of it. From the comments.
Yeah, and they had been involved with a couple of foundations, and I think the last iteration was with the Komen Foundation, and so they were pretty well supported. And I played the song. It was one of those oddball things where I didn't really grieve my brother's passing. It was kind of like, okay, we need to get this done. We need to get this taken care of. We need to kind of plow forward. We need to make sure his wishes are followed through with. And then it wasn't until we did sound check and I said, okay, let's do Missing You. And so the band played it, and they were really in the zone, and I was really in the zone, and that's when it all kind of caught up to me. And so that was about during, at least I did it during sound check, and I didn't fall apart during the actual show. But I'm finding that the song is really connected with a lot of people. Some people, they connect in a different way with the song, rather than having lost somebody to cancer. They could have lost someone to something else, or someone moved away, or whatever the reason. The absence of that person in their lives leaves a void, and so that's kind of what the energy of the song is about. And I'll always think of my brother when I play it, and so
absolutely, I'm sure you do, and I'm sure you always will. And with your permission, before we play that, I want to play a little clip about what it is that we're doing here with the Buddies. And so and all of those that are coming, and then it will be a full circle, I believe, in listening to your song, because I think you're going to see what it is, the heart of what we're all about. Yes, the Tour of Love. And this was produced before the actual quote-unquote Tour of Love, but it's all about the Buddies, who it is benefiting.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership. So please sign up today, share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
So, Thank you for allowing me to share what it is that we are doing. So we are going to put your stream. Oh, she took it away. I think she went. We've got Barbara Beckley, my segment director. There it is. Okay, I'm going to take us down, and we're going to now listen to your song. Wow. Wow. Beautiful. What do you say, when you're touched by something so beautiful?
Hey, it's all good. I'm glad we're connected.
Yes, me too. And I want to welcome Teresa Snyder. So beautiful. Teresa, we've got a feedback problem. I hope your earbuds in.
I'm glad we're connected.
Yes, me too. And I want to welcome Teresa Snyder. I'm gonna mute her there for a second. Now, Cecil, how can people follow you?
Well, probably the most fun thing to do would be just to go to my live stream on Facebook. Can be a top fan with Tamara.
Yeah, I know. Tamara L. Hunter. But,
Tamara L. Hunter,
there's a few Tamara Hunters, so you want the Tamara L. Hunter, top fan.
Yeah. But I think that's probably the most fun, because then you can interact with everybody, and then it feels like a little, there's your buddy system right there, and it's, you've been there, and sometimes people won't be feeling that good. They'll be like, I've had a really tough day, or, we've been seeing a lot of loss. People are losing their relatives. And around the holidays, that is the hardest thing, because that's a time when family's supposed to be together. And so our group, which we affectionately call the Mighty Online Gang, they just come around each other just like your buddies do, and offer some support, maybe, virtual hugs. How many of those can you get, and,
a lot.
A lot. And in this group, you're going to get a couple of hundred, because they're just not shy about that. They're, that's
but I've been saying every time you get a virtual hug, that should be $1 donation, because everybody needs a virtual hug.
Absolutely.
I love her. I knew, I love her. So that is on Sundays, right? Sundays.
Yeah, it's on Facebook Live if you search for my artist page. And I know Jack also cross posts my.
I know. Yeah. That's how I usually find out about it, because it just kind of like gets dumped into, like, okay, it's time. All right, time. Let's do this. Yeah. And what maybe we'll do is okay, this would be fun. Maybe we'll have a tour of love of the buddies. Say, okay, guys, buddies, let's go over here. Let's go virtually on our tour from our page over to Cecil's page and play for the evening. And maybe we'll do some kind of, wouldn't it be kind of fun to get so many of us that then okay, when it's time to sing, let's all jam into, let's do a virtual party, and all of us, you can either mute it or not, but then all do the singing thing, okay, yeah, I got my my cowbell, or whatever it may be, right? And have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm curious, Cecil, first, I acknowledge you for that beautiful song.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. It reminds me and makes me think that I should have stuck with the piano lessons my mom tried to put me in.
I hear you.
And I also can acknowledge that others have that talent. And Cecil, that was beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
And I also know that I live in Texas, and the patients that I am back and forth with, because I am in healthcare, they need this music. They need the buddies. They need virtual hugs.
It's important. It's important, especially, since everything's done virtually these days. I think, really good communicators can help bridge that gap. Not everybody has the ability to reach out, to smile across the camera and to make somebody feel good. And, I think when you have that ability, it's good to share it. And, when I first started doing the show, all I wanted to do was kind of give back to the fans that had been supporting me and my music for so long. And, that was back at the end of March. And I figured, well, this will go a couple of months, and then, we'll all be able to get together again. And then I won't have to do the show so much. And so now this will be week 36 coming up, and the numbers are always pretty steady, and it just kind of tells me that people want to be there, and so I want to be there for them. And so my wife and I make the commitment to try to put together a good show, and just mostly to have fun, just kind of have fun, and maybe encourage each other a lot, and share a lot of love.
And what I have found is that the people that I am dealing with that are literally were born in the 30s and born in the 40s, and they are now required to learn how to use technology. Mm-hmm. And so they're in assisted living facilities, or they're in independent living facilities, and they don't have the dining room social time that they were accustomed to. And I don't know who knows from that perspective, but I'm telling you, these Zoom groups are getting together, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cecil, I know that you've got other obligations, and I wanted to say thank you so very much for being with us and sharing this and sharing the love. We'll definitely have to connect and have like a virtual tour of love watch party or something, and do some stuff. Maybe we'll travel around to some of the different musicians that are supporting us. We'll go support them and be, the tour of love buddies or something, cool. Going and supporting our favorite artists. And definitely you are one. So
thank you so much. Thanks. I mean, we're all on the buddy system, no matter what we do. So thank you guys for what you do with the CB4L. And, I would encourage viewers, if you haven't yet, make a donation and, be part of the cause, and help out and reach out and comfort each other.
Absolutely. And again, everybody make sure to be watching and get a hold of and go watch and be a part of the party on Sunday nights. Cecil Ramirez. All right. Thank you so very much for coming and sharing.
Thank you. Love you guys. Take care.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that song is so good.
Wasn't it beautiful? It was beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Missing you. And I'm like, how many times can we laugh and cry all in the same day? But that's what this is about.
What hour are we on? 28. So, maybe times that by how many times, in an hour. So, my eyes are like, I'm beyond. It's like they're stinging, they're whatever, from all the laughing, crying. And I'm good with it because you know what we are doing? We are making a difference. And did you see? I want you guys, I don't have the picture. I should have asked Jay to keep one. Here. However, our dear friend E.J. Johnson, he has a new business that he's started, and they are totem bracelets, and they are amethyst stones with some other stones, and they are absolutely beautiful, and they're infused in and everything, and so I got a really great clip that I'm going to clip out and put into the website and such, but we have 24 of them left. And so anybody that wants one of these, they are beautiful. They are a special design just for the tour of love benefiting cb4l.org. So anybody that wants one, they are $100, and that's a deal because his totems are going to pay. They're going to be more than that on his totems. However, we are doing it for $100 donation for this special totem. That's and we have 24 of them, and so you need to go to cb4l.org, donate $100, and put on there that you want one of the Tour of Love totems. And beautiful. And Jay, such a supporter and is such a love and so much fun. So he already did his happy dance. Like, okay, so every time someone donates $100, then we'll have a sequence, and then they'll get the happy dance.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Isn't that fun? Yeah. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have fun with that. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna order my bracelet right now, and it looks like Barbara has something to put up, so I'm gonna order my bracelet.
Okay. Well,
and if
wonderful.
people are not familiar with Amazon or haven't been doing their holiday get your bracelet. Not Amazon. I'm sorry. CB4L.org.
Yeah, CB4L.org. I was going to say, we do have the Amazon gift that they do have. And here, let me pull down this. That the Smiles, we are on the Smiles campaign. So I'm going to pull us down so we can watch.
So Santa, here's the thing. I'm about to go on a tour of love. And I thought, you're the person that gives love to everybody. You spend all year long making gifts and building toys and rewarding people who do good things and letting other people know with the coal, if they don't do something so good, they got to, spice up their game for the next year. So I thought, why don't I give you a gift? And as a matter of fact, you're featured in this story. It's the night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house had a creature was stirring. Not even a mouse. The stockings were hung with the chimney with care and hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. And children were nestled snug in their beds with visions, sugar plum dancing their heads. And Mom in a kerchief, I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. Went out in the long, there rose such a clatter. I sprang to the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window, I flew like a flash, opened the shutters and threw up the stairs. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave luster at midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer with a little old driver so lively and quick. I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick, more rapid than eagle. Of course, as he came and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now dashing and dancing and prancing and vixen, comet Cupid and down and blitz to the top of the porch, to the top of the walnut, dash away all. As dry leaves up before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with the obstacle, mount to the sky. So up in the house, up the course as they flew, with the sleigh filled of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pouring of each little hoof. As he drew my hand and was turning around, down the chimney, St. Nicholas, you came with a bound. He was dressed in the fur from the head to his foot. All his clothes were tarnished with ashes and soot, and a bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a petal just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His droll little mouth was drawn like a bow, and his bear and his chin was as white as snow. Then his stump in the pipe, and he held tight on his teeth, and smoking he stirred a head on his reef, and his brown little face and his round little belly, when it shook, when it laughed, when he said like a jelly, listen, I'm not making this stuff up. This is about you, but this is what they write. He was chubby and plump, right jolly, oh well, and he laughed when I saw him in spite of myself, and a wink in his eye and twist of his head soon gave me to know he had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stocking and turned with a jerk, and laying his finger on the side of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sled. His team gave a whistle, and away they flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him explain as he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Santa, you do such a great job. I am honored that during this tour of love, I could do this for you. Do you have any response? I guess not. I stunned him.
I love her. I love her. Oh my gosh, Fran Capo, the fastest talking woman, Guinness record, fastest talking woman. She is hilarious. She
is so funny. And I was telling my parents that we have a stuffed Santa, basically like what she was reading to. And I go, that's the best husband ever.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Okay.
He's not going to talk much. He's a giver. He's not going to care who gains weight or not. I mean, he's going to be busy a lot.
Are you doing a comedy act right now? I mean, should we okay, send it over for comedy editing? We've had such good comedy acts. We've had so many amazing acts. We do need before the evening is up, We do have Terry Woolman, Barbara, that we need to grab his, sorry, his video. And if you need the link, let me know. It is in one of the cards in Trello, and I'm not sure which one. So where it's at, I'm not sure. It might just be in music. Might be in the music area. All right, and let's see here. Let me write this down. Okay. And so you have behind you interim healthcare. So let's talk.
Okay.
Interim healthcare. See, I recognize that group, but some people might say, "Oh, I recognize the logo, but I don't remember exactly why or what they do." Do you get that a lot?
Yes.
Because
I was just registering for my bracelet, and I'm going to put that to the side because I want to be of service to you in whatever capacity that you need me to be.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the donation. And we're going to have matching bracelets. That will be fun.
Hey, I love that. We're going to have BFF on it or something. I mean,
we could get a little charm on there. Sure. Okay. Okay. I think we got it. So I'm going to take a beautiful, beautiful. I mean, Terry Woolman is such a gentle soul, such a gentle man. Mm-hmm. Have you met him?
I don't think so.
In any of our adventures, I don't know that you have. Anyway, he such a good person, and in fact, he was one of the co-producers of one of Melissa Manchester's most recent CDs, albums, and so I'm sure she'll be bringing him up. She does a lot with him when she's on with us tonight. And So let's get back to what we were talking about with, and I want to say thank you again to Jack Cohen and Mikey Adam Cohen in regards to all of the help and insight and support when it comes to our tour of love and all of the amazing talent that has been that we have been enjoying. And so I want to give the love and shout out, and also Keith.
I do want to say,
Keith just made a donation. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
And I want to say, when this video rolls, when this video that's coming up rolls, that Nolan Farmer is a physician, and he looks really, really young.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, now this is the company that you work for.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And to set this up, do we need to say anything or just let it roll?
That was the only thing that I was going to say, is because the interview with the two physicians, that Dr. Farmer, he looks really young because he is. He's fresh out of residency, but he's seeing patients up on the floor, and his perspective is good.
Okay. All right. So let's go down and we will watch.
Home health and hospice is such a great resource. We get to take care of, patients, but also their families as well. And, we're a family business. So we always say it's local people taking care of local people, right? We love what we do, but most of all, we love the patients and families that we have the privilege of serving. So, we always say it's an honor to provide excellent care for every patient every day. And we really do mean that.
Yeah. And it's a, for sometimes I kind of always, it's initially hard to bring up because I feel like hospice, palliative care, they kind of have this bad connotation. If you bring up the word hospice, it's a trigger to a death sentence. And what I really like to really tell patients, this is not what it is. It's just we change the goals of care. And, the way, just a simple changing, just the goal, the way we change, the way we phrase things, we go from when we know that we're reaching what I would call futility, where we are no longer doing things for patients, but doing things to them. I feel like that we can change the goals from this aggressive, going to the hospital, staying weeks in the hospital, being lab work, IVs. I mean, these things that your days at home will become more limited. You're spending more time in the hospital than with family. And so we can change goals of care from being in the hospital, being readmitted, to more of a comfort approach where you can be at home. You can have these amazing resources provided to you at home, nursing, medications to keep you comfortable, medications to if it's COPD, like you said, to help calm down that air hunger, that breathing, to really change the goals of care, because we know what happens at the end of life anyway, and how can we make those last few months of life the most comfortable and to be surrounded by family as opposed to in a hospital.
Well, one of the things that we have been thinking about is, and we have seen quite a bit of success, is having people that need to be home, of course, stay home. Some people that have not gotten yet to a nursing home and they are in that situation, getting some good home health is essential. And in some people that are at the point in which they need hospice care, hospice will be ideal, because I think hospice in many instances is like the Rolls Royce of nursing homes.
I want to say 2 weeks just to get help. And when y'all came in, it was done in 1 day. But I think it's so important for families to know that just you can do it. I mean, you can, there's help out there. Well, that's my goal. I wish we could just, if there's one thing in the world I wish we could do, is just, that'd be it. You get to decide where your parents go.
Agreed.
And how their last years, and you know what I mean? You get to decide.
All right. So what we wanted to talk about in regards to hospice is that hospice is and Barbara, I need Barbara's information because Barbara's the segment director, and so that's what I'm trying to get right now.
Oh, okay. I got it. I'm emailing and answering your questions.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I just have got a couple of conversations going on right now.
Yes,
a timely one going on.
Yes,
All right. And so in regards to and this was something I want everybody that's watching this segment to understand, and that is that hospice is relatively still a new concept. I mean, really, when it comes to medical, isn't that the case? I mean, I want to make sure that I've got it right. But for the longest time, you didn't have palliative or you didn't have hospice. You either stayed in the hospital or you were left alone. But you really didn't have anything of comfort, or you didn't have anything that could be resembling as any kind of respective care or anything when it came to that area. The thing that I didn't realize, and this is one of the things I think is really important to understand, and then that is you're not always going into, you can graduate out of hospice more than one way.
100%.
It's to help with, and this is what I understood because of having to do research, it's to help manage pain and not necessarily be looking for, if you will, cure at the same time. It's more for the pain and pain management and to make someone comfortable. And am I right? You know, let's go into that.
Yes. Okay, so there was this amazing group of people that originally started what is considered hospice care. And it would have been like Angel, Olivia, and then, you know, different groups of these caring, kind individuals, and they wanted there to be resources. Okay. And it was a misnomer that if you placed someone or you called about hospice services, it was like, oh no, that's not the case. What people don't understand is that the level of medication, the level of nurses that are on call 24/7, the people that can come into the home, the medications that can manage that pain, you're not going to be able to get unless you qualify for either home health, and home health's a little bit different, or hospice services. If we can get, and I have a case study prime example of a woman, that there is a woman with double mastectomy. She needed pain control. Once we got her pain managed, this is great to see that these different people have this, because usually it's like, oh no, here comes this topic. No, hospice is beautiful. It's wonderful. It's amazing. And if we need to switch gears to something else on your schedule, I can totally be with that.
We're good to the top of the hour. So this is what we're going to be talking about until the top of the hour. Unless we've got some video that we need to be sharing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And that is the reason that for me, I took a break from, I was in hospice care. I originally started the hospice care where I live in the year 2008. We didn't even have printers or copiers or anything. And it was so glorious and amazing and wonderful. And then also we have a chaplain, we have a social worker, we have all of these different resources that people may or may not understand. And if you have Medicare, it is a Medicare covered benefit. If you are needing resources, hospice under the hospice Medicare benefit, it is like, oh my goodness, you get just so many services, resources, medications, different things. You get a hospital bed in your home, you get a wheelchair, a smaller wheelchair that's going to, allow mobility. You're going to get the social worker that can bring the resources about how to get, a shower chair, or to have a bathroom that's a little bit more accommodating. And we were talking earlier, and I brought this with me because we were talking about the sponge for sponge baths, and the little grabber tools, and these little things that are provided, a little flashlight, little timers, this whole little kit. And I apologize that it's in plastic, and I know that we're trying to be environmentally safe, but these grabbers. It's these different things that you don't know that you need, or you don't know that your family member may need. Shoe horns,
right?
That long shoe horns. And now palliative care, different states have different ideas about how palliative care, what their guidelines are. So what I would recommend is for people to check into the state that they live in, or the area that they live in. And the doctors that you saw in the video, Dr. Farmer and Dr. Muniz, those two happen to be like who I can call 24/7 right here, right now. Those are our medical directors. I can call them at 3 a.m. and I can say, Dr. Muniz, and you can tell he speaks Spanish, so he's bilingual. And I can say, Dr. Muniz, this patient is potentially going to be transported to the hospital. Can we get a nurse out here? And can we get you to agree to a verbal order for the medication so we don't have to transport to the hospital? Those are the kinds of things that are so beautiful. And then with hospice, you're going to have hospice volunteers. You're going to have people that veterans are honored, people's that transcribe stories and help you with your ancestry.com and your history. And there's just these amazing. And so I only came back to hospice care in March of this year because it's where my heart is. I took all that time and traveled with Tamara, and we had this fabulous, amazing, wonderful mini road trips, and we found squirrels on the sides of the roads, and we did videos at the wineries, and we did all those,
Yeah.
And just because I'm back home and doing home health and hospice doesn't mean, that I'm not going to go back and retire again and travel again. And that's the thing about life. And people do not, and believe me, I'm going to say this is the statistic that nobody likes. The statistic is 1 in 1 of us are going to die. That's just life. 1 out of 1 of us. We are all. Yeah. I see them for pain management meds and depression meds, etc., instead of my oncologist. Sherry, that's great. That is great.
Yeah. And it's good to understand. And that's why I asked you to do this, because I felt that we needed to have real information from people that are front line, rather than, I think it is. And because if I was talking about it, I don't doing this every day. And yes, I've looked into it. Yes, I've dealt with it because of people that are close to me. However, it's not something I go out and I'm studying all the time, and I'm up on all the laws, and I'm up on all of the procedures and what really the stories are. And you are someone that understands this world. This is where you are now. This is what you are doing. And you love it. Like you said,
Mhm.
you love it. This is where your heart is.
Mhm. There's
And
nothing
thank you
better for me.
that.
There's nothing more rewarding, at least right now, for me. And that is why I love being on your platform and helping people get buddies, because I'm in the trenches every day. I'm in the trenches, like I was saying earlier. You know, I have my nose is raw from wearing an N95 mask and all those kinds of things. And they're just, if people had a buddy, these people that are dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and they can find a buddy that's going to be able to be relatable and understanding, and they're going to know what to share from their own experiences. And I know you have your private groups, and I know that you, like Sherry just said, and I don't know if that was in the private group. I hope I wasn't saying anything.
No. This is
Oh,
public.
good.
Yeah, we're public.
You know what I mean? That's another thing. We
Mhm.
have HIPAA laws and
Yeah. No. And everything that we're doing right now, and they know it, that we're
Okay, good.
public.
Okay, good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so your celebration journal, I think everyone needs this.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a buddy.
I agree. I so absolutely agree. Everybody does. Everybody needs one of these. And you can get a free PDF. They're free. You know, if you want to print it off for our buddies, we do give them for free, but we have free PDFs for this. This is not something we charge.
Yes.
You can't even
And I
buy
heard you
it.
say about the love letters.
Yes, love letters. Yes.
Love letters. For those of us that are in the United States that just celebrated Thanksgiving with our family, and we were all sharing stories, and that my grandfather was a World War II vet, and I didn't know that he was, I mean, I knew it, yet he was a private man. So having these opportunities to share and share in these groups and to talk about it. Yeah, so much how to show the love. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Thank you for sharing. Any inference? Yeah, and
Okay,
thank you. Sherry has been, and there's Sherry, and there's Lisa, and there's Brett, and there's some of our buddies that have that they understand that they're going public is going to be helpful for others. And I want to recognize and honor and say thank you to Sherry and to Lisa, Brett, and Renee, and some of the other buddies that have been sharing. And Ariel, she did some film, and others that have filmed or have been sharing comments, because many of you have no idea, because even what Aaron and Ray Ann shared was a public. I did notice it was from the public side when they shared about the Magic Monday duo, you know, dressed up and everything, because we don't share that on the outside.
Right.
Because it's our safe place.
Yes.
We need a safe place.
Yes.
And that's part of what we protect. We protect it.
Yes. Yes. And you're so good at how you protect that. And so I realize that we're in closing.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So to wrap this up with the bow is inquire about your local resources.
Good.
Get a buddy today, because the buddy groups are going to have relatable. Okay, so check your resources in your local area, because there's probably a lot that are available. Ask your doctor or your oncologist, if you're still going and seeing them, maybe what some of the resources are going to be. And then thirdly, air hugs to Tamra.
Oh, air hugs to you too. Oh, I love it. And you know what? I love it. Love it. So,
Turn back on. I don't know what the next hour is, but I'm still going to be around.
Okay. Well, possibly you may be getting a link. And so we're preparing. I'm trying to get do some administrative stuff here too. And so that I can get things taken care of with people. And so I may need a little bit of help. So stay close. All right.
Okay.
So hour 28 is now done. We're going into hour 29. We're almost into the 30s, guys.
Wow.
We're going strong. Okay. See you in just a few